What if everything you know is wrong?
Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something that's become a huge part of our world, a lot of times without us even noticing it: artificial intelligence. Yeah, it's not some far off futuristic idea anymore. It's more like this invisible fabric that's woven right into our daily lives. So, let me just ask you this. Think about your days so far. How many times would you say you've actually interacted with an AI? Once? Maybe twice? Or are you thinking, nope, not at all?
Well, I'm willing to bet the answer is a whole lot more than you think. So, in this explainer, we're going to follow that invisible thread. We're going to see just how deep AI runs in our day to day routines. And we'll start with the place we all look at the most.
All right, so section one, we're kicking things off with the most obvious place we find AI, our screens. This is the AI you can actually see, or at least the one you're interacting with every single day. Oh, you know this feeling. We've all been there. You finally sit down after a long day, you grab the remote, and that's when it starts. The endless scroll. The classic, what do you want to watch debate. It's kind of funny how having a million choices can turn a relaxing evening into a low-key battle, right? But what if AI could be the peacemaker here? Believe it or not, there are AI companions popping up, like this app called Pix, that are literally trained to find the perfect compromise. You just text it what you're in the mood for, like in plain English, and boom, it shoots back customized suggestions for everyone. It's a really simple, conversational way to use AI to solve a very, very human problem. But here's the thing, this idea goes way beyond just one app. A giant like Netflix has basically built its entire empire on this. Their AI is so much more than a suggestion box. It's using something called collaborative filtering to match your tastes with millions of other people. It analyzes the shows themselves, the actors, the genres, you name it. It even A/B tests the little thumbnail pictures to see which one will make you personally click. And while you're watching, it's in the background adjusting the stream quality so you don't have to deal with that dreaded buffering wheel. It's even gotten so smart that it analyzes what we all watch to decide which new shows to make. That's exactly how they knew their first big original, House of Cards, was going to be a hit. Okay, so let's step away from the glowing rectangles for a minute and just look around our homes. Because AI isn't just on your phone or your TV anymore. It's quietly starting to run the whole place. We hear the term smart home thrown around all the time. But what actually makes it smart? I mean, it's not just about hooking a few gadgets up to the Wi-Fi. The real intelligence, the secret sauce, is the AI. That's what lets these devices learn our habits, adapt to our lives, and eventually start making decisions for us. So, what does that look like? Well, your smart thermostat learns when you're home and when you're away to save energy, all without you having to touch it. And when you yell, "Hey Siri," or "Alexa," that's some pretty sophisticated AI called natural language processing, or NLP, that's figuring out what you mean. But in security, AI is a total game changer. Smart cameras can now use facial recognition to tell the difference between your family, a delivery person, or even a pesky raccoon. And that means way fewer false alarms waking you up at 3 a.m. Now we're going to zoom out, way out. We're going beyond our screens, beyond our homes, to the massive, totally invisible AI systems that are powering the world around us. Specifically, how everything gets from point A to point B. And this quote right here just nails it. The entire global logistics sector. I'm talking about the massive system that gets food to your grocery store and that package to your front door is being completely rebuilt around AI. It's not a nice to have anymore. It's absolutely essential. So what does that really mean? Well, think of it as a huge shift from being reactive to being predictive. The old way was a big storm hits and everyone scrambles to deal with the chaos. The AI-powered way sees the storm coming in the data and has already rerouted all the trucks before the first drop of rain even falls. You see the difference? It's like going from being a firefighter to preventing the fire from ever starting in the first place. So the next time you order something online and it shows up exactly when they said it would, this is the AI that's working behind the scenes. It's predicting traffic jams, it's making sure that delivery truck is packed as efficiently as possible to save fuel. It's even automating all the boring paperwork, which frees up the actual humans to focus on solving the really tricky, unexpected problems. And the coolest part? It's a system that is constantly learning, getting a little bit smarter with every single package it delivers. All right, so we've gone from the systems that move things around the world to something much more personal, the systems that are starting to shape how we actually learn. The big idea here is something called an adaptive learning platform. So, unlike a regular old textbook that's the same for everyone, this kind of platform uses AI to create a totally unique learning journey for every single student. It's like having a personal tutor that's watching how you're doing and adjusting everything, the difficulty, the speed, even the examples it uses, all in real time just for you. And let me tell you, this is not just some niche idea for a few classrooms. It's a huge shift. Look at these numbers. The market for this tech is set to more than triple in just a handful of years. It's quickly going from being an experiment to becoming a core part of how we think about education. So why is it exploding like this? Well, because for the student, the benefits are just massive. You get to work at your own speed. If you already know a topic, you can just skip ahead. And if you get stuck, the system gives you hints and extra support. They call it dynamic scaffolding. This kind of personal touch can make learning so much more efficient and, frankly, more interesting. And on a bigger scale, by meeting every single student right where they are, it has a real shot at making education a lot more equitable too. Okay, we've seen how AI helps us find what to watch, run our homes, get our stuff, and even learn new things. But for this last section, we absolutely have to talk about the other side of this coin. We need to tackle the critical questions all this raises about our privacy. First, let's just be super clear about what we're actually dealing with here. The AI in our lives today is what experts call narrow AI. This means it's really, really good at one specific task, whether that's playing chess, recommending a movie, or routing a truck. It's here to enhance what we can do, not to replace us across the board. And it's so important to get that straight because the privacy challenges we're facing, they are not science fiction. They're not about some Skynet-style superintelligence in the future. They are about the real, practical AI that's already woven into our world right here, right now. And here are some of the biggest issues on the table. Our data, your data, is being used to train these models, a lot of the time without us really knowing or agreeing to it. Our biometric data, our faces, our voices, is being collected. Every click, every search, every scroll creates this trail of metadata that's being gathered and stored, and the rules for how long they keep it are often incredibly murky. And guess what? People are starting to notice. These numbers show that a huge majority, 57% of people, feel that AI is a significant threat to their privacy. That's a massive gap between how fast this tech is being adopted and how much we actually trust it with our information. But look, the conversation can't just stop at the problems. We have to talk about the solutions. And there is a path forward. It's about having clear, ironclad rules for how data is handled. It's about being totally transparent about how and why data is being used. And it's about putting strict limits on how long it can be stored. These are the kinds of real actionable steps that can start to rebuild some of that lost trust. Which really brings us to this final crucial question. We've seen that AI truly is becoming the invisible fabric of modern life, right? It's touching everything from our movie nights to our kids' education. So the challenge for all of us now is to decide how that fabric gets woven. How do we make sure that transparency and fairness and a deep respect for our privacy are part of its very design from the beginning? That right there is the conversation we all need to be having.
Understanding begins with why.